Arguing is a part of relationships. If I told you that I could teach you how not to argue in any of your relationships, would you believe me? It's everything, because God created relationships. God is a person that wants you to get to know him. He wants you to get to know about him, and he wants you to want to get to know him. The character, the mindset, the skill set that you need to make your relationships better. We're going to give you that every episode. All right, video number 3. What can listeners expect to learn or gain from each episode? You're going to get some education. Whatever it is that we're talking about, I have to give you some education about it, whether you know it or not. Just my perspective on it, because I have the professional part of it and the personal part of it. So to give you my perspective on it, and to give you my understanding of it. And you can take that and do what you wish. I'm not saying that I am the end all be all. I'm not the oracle of it. I'm giving you my perspective based on my experiences with the people that I have helped and myself. And if that helps you, wonderful. If it doesn't help you, that's quite all right. Again, I'm not trying to convince you. It's that simple. It's a lot of people that are in this space, and you have to find the person that resonates with you. You have to find the person that speaks to you. I may not be that person. I'm fine with that. You could take what I say. You can take some pieces of it and manipulate it as you wish. I like to hope that you don't do that, because the way that I give it to you is the way that you should apply it. But you're grown, y'all, you know. So I hope that you gain and learn the tools that you need, the character, the mindset, the skill set that you need to make your relationships better. We're going to give you that every episode, and we're going to give you a scripture to go with it, because again, you have to have both when you're trying to improve, right? You're both beings. So you need spiritual and you need human science. Okay, what else? What role does my faith play in the topics that I discuss? For me, it's everything, because God created relationships, right? The first human relationships God created. And so he is passionate about relationships. And he gave us, as people of God, he gave us a discipline to follow. He gave us a character that we should aspire to. And if you are walking in that character, you can find it in Galatians 5:22 and 23. It's called the fruit of the Spirit. If you're walking in that character and you're operating from that place, your relationships instantly improve 80%. Instantly, right? The relationship skills are just the other part. It's just like being healthy. If you've ever spoken to a nutritionist will tell you being healthy is 80% food. They might tell you 70% food. They might tell you 20% working out and 10% supplement, right? Some variation, give or take 5%. But it's what you feed yourself. You are what you eat. And the things that you eat are the things that you watch on a regular basis, the things that you listen to on a regular basis, the people, places, and things that you surround yourself by on a regular basis. All those things consist of your diet. And so what you put in you at some point is going to come out of you. And so that same premise applies here. We have to make sure that we're feeding ourselves good stuff that's going to grow and mature and develop our insides. Because at some point, life is going to life, and you'll have to pour out of you something. Well, what is that going to be? And how healthy is it? So this faith thing is everything. It has to be the root of everything. We have to be like trees planted by the rivers of waters. It has to be everything. And so I think you do yourself a favor if you're walking in the fruit of the Spirit. Otherwise, you have a lot more work to do, right? Can it be done? Yes. I think it's easier to be done this way. My opinion. So yeah, everything we do, or everything that I'm going to teach you, I'm going to find a scripture to substantiate it. Because if you decide that you're going to rock with me, and while you're going through these changes, there's going to be some start and stop. There's going to be some good days and bad days. There's going to be some stumble as you get it together and as you start to make it consistent, right? While that's happening, while you're going through your ups and downs, you need to be able to latch yourself onto something that's immutable. Because you're not going to be, yay, 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 let's do it today. You're not going to be that every day. So on the days that you're not, I don't need you to quit. On the days that you're not, I don't need you to revert back 3 steps. I need you to be able to ground yourself in something. For me, that something is the scripture. So I'm going to give it to you in the hopes that that's going to be the same thing for you. If it's not, it's fine. Again, I'm not trying to convince you, and neither is God. He doesn't work that way, right? God is a person that wants you to get to know him. He wants you to get to know about him, and he wants you to want to get to know him. He's not trying to force himself on you, and he's not trying to convince you that you should be in a relationship with him. He doesn't operate that way. And neither do I, right? I have information to present to you. If your relationship is struggling, check it out. If you can rock with it, if it resonates with you, keep listening. If it doesn't, swipe left or delete or skip or whatever it is that happens in social media. It's perfectly fine. It's absolutely fine. We did the aha moment. The biggest misconception that people have about relationships. The biggest misconception that people have about relationships is that because relationships are free, anybody can get in them and they're going to be good at them. Like people feel like relationships are a problem or marriages are a problem, right? People don't understand, or they don't give enough credence to the notion that relationships and marriages are a reflection of the people in them. Relationships are just fine for people that are healthy. Marriages are just fine for people that are healthy. Now, you may need some relationship skills. Could there be some improvement in your relationship? Yes. If you have relationship skills to work on. Could there be some improvement in your marriage? Yes. If you have relationship skills to work on. But for healthy people, their relationship is for the most part fine. For unhealthy people and hurt people, it's a horse of a different color. Because just because you're a good person doesn't mean that you're a good relationship partner. Those two functions are very different. If you're a good person, it helps in your relationship partnering. That absolutely helps. But just because you're a good person doesn't mean you have the skill set to be a good partner. Doesn't mean that. They require different things. So you are going to need to have a skill set. You are going to need to have some education as to how relationships operate. You are going to need to have a mentality and an understanding of, once you learn the skills, how to deploy them. You are going to have that. I don't expect you to have it. I didn't have it. I went to school for it. Been studying it since I was 19 or so. Right? So I don't expect you to have it. What I'm saying to you is, it's a real thing. You don't have to hope and wish for a good relationship. You can make it so. You can absolutely make it so. All of your relationships. Imagine that. I don't know how good your relationships are. And I don't know if they're only good, romantically, but you got family drama. Or you have good relationship with your family, but you got friend drama. Or you have good relationship with family and friend, but you got coworker drama. Right? Somewhere there's drama. And where drama is, people are. So there's an issue somewhere, whether you have the issue or whether it's one of them. Somebody somewhere has an issue. But imagine having all of these relationships and there's no drama anywhere. Ever. Imagine that. People also have a misconception that arguing is a part of relationships. If I told you that I could teach you how not to argue in any of your relationships, would you believe me? No, you would say that I'm lying, because everybody argues, everybody fights. They don't. Telling you what I know. They don't. So it's going to be some stuff that I'm going to learn you. And is it going to work overnight? No. But does it work? Absolutely. Okay. All right. Yes, know that you need relationship skills and you need the character and the understanding. You have to have, and again, if your relationships are struggling, there has to be a change of heart and there has to be a renewing of the mind. So you need education and you need some Jesus touching on the inside. All right. So, I hope that you guys stop by and see what it is that we're trying to do. The Relationship Academy has something for everybody. I have workshops that we are launching in March 2025. We're going to have couples, I don't want to say couples cruises, but we're going to have couples retreats. I think that's going to be in 2026. But we have ebooks on the website that's launching November 15th. We have a couples workbook. So for people who are, if you are married already, the couples workbook can still work. If you both are in a place where you still want to be together and you want to work on your relationship, it can still work. But it's designed for people who are getting married and haven't been married before, right? To each other, haven't been married before to each other. And they want to do this thing the right way this time. Or they want to do it the right way the first time. Some people don't sign up to get divorced, right? People don't sign up to be married to get divorced. Let me just say that. So when people get married, they really do believe that happily ever after, for those that believe it. But for the people that believe it, they really do want that happily ever after the one time. You know, it's not a desire for them to go through divorce and have to find somebody else and start all over and all that. So the workbook is designed to help lay a solid foundation for those two people who are trying to build a life together. The course is for individual work. You have heard several people say, you got work to do. You need to work on yourself. You got issues. But nobody tells you how to do that exactly. Nobody tells you what that looks like exactly. And so, like I said, relationships and marriages are a reflection of the people in them. And so you can't want, although you can't want to have a really great relationship and it to be all these things that you've seen in the movies and all the relationship goals that you see on all of the social media platforms that you go to. You can't want that to be the relationship that you have and you haven't done that kind of work on yourself. You can't want that to be that and think realistically that that's what you're going to get. And if you're holding out thinking, well, I'm waiting for this type of person, and you haven't done that kind of work on yourself, you are wasting a whole lot of time. Let me say that as nicely as I can put it. You're wasting a whole lot of time. Because what God not about to do, God is not about to send you anybody that he has created and fashioned that you're going to tear up. He's not about to do it. So the faster you can get yourself to health and healing, the faster the health and healing is the mountain, the dragon, the ocean, right? That's the health and healing. You have to scale that. You have to defeat it to get to your other side. And that's where your person is. Like, it is that simple. And so what we're going to do on this work right here is going to be, who or what is our dragon, our mountain, our whatever. But that's where your failures are, right? We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the parts of us that have caused all of this chaos in our relationships. We don't want to talk about that part because look at what the other people did. And true enough, they did. But what can we do about that? Nothing. But we can do something about you. So let's do that. All right. I love you guys. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. I hope to see you November 15th. And even if you don't make it to the podcast, I want to say that it's going to drop. The first episode is going to drop 7 p.m. I'll come back and tell you for sure. And the website, you can, I'll give you the website so that you can go to the website and fish around and check it out. I hope to see you. And like I said, just come by, if nothing else, just to come by and say hi, because you guys are witnessing a dream of mine that's been a long time in the making. And so I would appreciate you guys stopping by, because I'm just humbled to even be able to be in a position to tell you what I'm telling you. You know, the information that God has gifted me to give to people as it relates to relationships, he could have given to anybody. And so he's better than good to me to choose me to give it to you. So stop by, say hi. Until next time.